and welcome. You're watching Free Press Journal. I'm Afrida Ali. My guest today is Issac John. He's a business leader, co-founder at Ivory, which is an early stage company that is focused on cognitive health. Now, he is the co-founder of Ivory, a company that provides clinical grade cognitive assessments and personalized brain health solutions. Ivory was launched in 2023. Let me welcome Issac is with us right now. Hello and welcome, Issac. Good to have you with us.
Thank you, Afrida, and the Free Press Journal team for having us.
So, we are having this conversation today, Issac, because it is the World Alzheimer's Day. The awareness around cognitive health, as you have explained to me on many occasions, is not to the level and extent that we would like in this country. And people like you working in this field in that sense are doing a stellar job of it, at least creating that awareness, and not just awareness, also helping people in many ways to detect cognitive disorders and also, getting to know their brain health profile. I would like to begin by asking you, how did you start Ivory and why did you choose this area of cognitive health specifically?
Thank you. Thank you for the note. So, Afrida, basically, the reason why my co-founder and I started this company is because we have very closely seen what neurodegeneration does to a family, especially in late stages. My own father had Parkinson's, so, I had very direct view of how his quality of life just kept worsening. And similarly, Rahul and I actually come from Kerala, where incidentally, it's the state with the highest incidence of dementia cases per capita. And he had also seen multiple cases of, similar neurodegeneration in his family. So that brought us together initially to actually, and we were both single parent children. So we kind of wanted to build something that can, help, people beyond their 50s, 60s, staying away from children. In an India where, nuclear families are only on the rise, we sort of wanted to actually build an engagement-led platform for people in their 50s and beyond. That was the genesis of Ivory. However, when we got into the space, we realized that given that there are no pharmacological treatments that are largely available at scale, or they are very expensive, drugs in US, etc., the only way one can actually, let's say, address neurodegeneration is if you start detecting risk early. So that became the entire ethos of our company, and the entire mission of the company today is to help people identify cognitive risks early, because if you do identify them early, then you can take enough action to address them.
Yeah. I mean, we don't talk about brain health as much. We talk about heart health. Now, a lot of people are talking about gut health.
Yeah.
I don't hear as much being spoken about, brain health. I want to ask you, how early should people start caring about their cognitive health? What are the first steps?
So it's a great question because, technically, one can say that, it can be as early as the teens, but that's not right. Science says that it's actually beyond your 40s that your brain starts shrinking by 5% every decade. And a lot of it is actually natural, shrinking as well. Like we will lose muscle mass as we age, right? Like our body, after going through 40, 45 years of age, like different organs will go through, their own wear and tear. However, for people who are at risk, they will start showing slightly more accelerated signs of decline. So specifically, anytime beyond your mid 40s, you should start including cognitive screenings as part of your annual checkups. I'll also give you a very clear example, like the annual wellness visit, as is done by US. It's a fairly wide scale program. Their cognitive checkups are actually mandatory. आपके annual checkups में. But here in India, I think, given that India is a relatively younger country, these things are yet to come. But I think it's only a matter of time before things change.
Yeah, let's now talk specifically about the disorders or the anomalies, the discrepancies in brain health that are detected. Today is World Alzheimer's Day, but the other old age disorders that we hear is also dementia. We also hear about Parkinson's. Are they all connected? Can you help us distinguish and understand what is the entire range, the spectrum of these brain health diseases, and what are the misconceptions around them?
For sure. So number one is dementia and Alzheimer's. I think is one that often gets inter used. I would say. So dementia is actually an umbrella term. Now dementia is anything that affects memory, judgment, reasoning, problem solving. Right? Like basically these are the very core faculties that a person uses in a day-to-day life. So dementia is an umbrella term. Now within dementia, Alzheimer's is the most common form of dementia. So Alzheimer's is actually a type of dementia named so and so after actually a person who actually donated his brain to be studied, Alois Alzheimer, back in the 1920s or 30s. He said that he noticed that changes were happening and he donated his brain to be studied, and hence the disease is named after him. Now, within dementia, there are other kinds of dementia as well. Frontotemporal dementia, for example. Then there could be Parkinsonian dementia. So there are different types of dementia. So dementia is the umbrella term. Having said that, there are other conditions as well which are completely different, or rather a little different than dementia. For example, like ALS. If you remember the ice bucket challenge, Afrida, which was once around the time just went pretty viral around the globe. That was actually for a specific neurological condition called ALS. So and of course then there is Parkinson's, which is a completely different, again, these are all neurodegenerative in many ways. So these are some of the terms, but given that today is World Alzheimer's Day and Alzheimer's is the most common form of dementia and also the one that goes unnoticed the most. So Parkinson's mein kya hota hai, like your hands, some of your symptoms will be very visible, movement will be restricted, gait will be restricted. Alzheimer's mein, the first thing that a person starts doing when he starts forgetting is they start getting withdrawn. And the unfortunate thing is that when someone does that, people ascribe it to old age.
When you said the first signs or something that goes unnoticed is senior citizen and elderly in the family getting withdrawn. So when you say withdrawn, what exactly do you mean?
Yeah, so withdrawn specifically means that people will not be as social as they used to be. There will be subtle changes, like if a person who is to be very social and gregarious will start not going to functions, because what will happen is, what generally tends to happen is that you don't remember things, and people start sort of commenting, hey, didn't you remember? So bhulakkad ho gaya. These are some of the common terms that start getting associated, and the confidence of the person essentially goes for a complete deep dive, and then that's when people basically start getting withdrawn. It's one of the most, among in clinical circles, they say that these are some of the signs that should not be avoided, because otherwise in a normal day-to-day functioning it's very hard to detect as to why is this person is there something serious with a loved one, right? So being recluse, being withdrawn, sort of not going out as often, staying within themselves. These are all signs that, one needs to investigate further.
Yeah. Ivory, does it support the journey ahead after detection?
Yes.
Is there anything
yes.
that you
Yes. So we have a very, very highly qualified clinical decision making team that is comprised of neuroscientists, clinical neuropsychologists, neurologists. So when it comes to people with medium to high risk, we actually have a very, very personalized pathway for each of them. And our clinical team then works with them over the next 6 to 12 months to ensure that some of these lifestyle changes are done. And, we are able to show that, your cognition is improving or on track, or at least your cognition has not worsened. See, Afrida, for somebody who's in their 60s, right, improving cognition is not the goal. Staying the same is great. Staying the same for the ages of 65 to 75 on cognition is actually great. But when it comes to, let's say, 45, 55, if you're early risk, actually work on certain things to even improve your cognition levels. So we have a pretty deep team which works with us on that front.
I wish you all the best in this journey. Great work. Issac, thank you for joining us on Free Press Journal. And we hope that you meet with success. And great video. Thanks for creating that level of awareness and for working in for this noble cause, this country. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us and taking our story, out there. We're really glad you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Issac. Thank you.